probably one of the best pit stops we've ever made, and we can't thank Brian and Lori enough. This has been incredible. We're heading over to BHB headquarters in a minute.
That'd be awesome.
Very awesome.
Yeah, I was super excited about this because I've always wanted the palmetto corns, you know, and so I was picking up a collection for my friend Forrest, you know, Fanny, who I love to death, and so we ended up buying his corn snake colony, and this was like Desiree's pet. And I said, "You're selling that one?" I said, "I'll buy it." You know, so we worked the deal out, and I got that too. But lots of cool like scaleless stuff. Like this is a snow scaleless motley corn snake.
Wow.
I mean, it just looks like so goofy, right?
But like.
It's bizarre.
So awesome.
They are awesome, you know, but he had so much good stuff. I mean, these are kind of something you don't see very often. These are called Scots garter snakes. They're actually a Mexican garter snake. They're actually the largest species of Thamnophis, a garter snake. So this is a male. The females get much, much larger. So it's kind of cool to be working with those. I love garter snakes.
Now,
you know,
this is one that we like too.
Yeah, black kings are always. I mean, they're always like the pinnacle of like people love these. Oh, this guy's gonna bite me in a second here too. The way he's acting, he's like, oh, it's food time, huh?
That's one.
So these guys have not. Ooh, you're gonna bite me. And yeah, these guys are food bites. You know, they're not like aggressive bites. They're like, I'm gonna eat your hand.
Well, it's funny because
I'll get Eric to handle it.
Oh yeah.
Just that these guys haven't been fed yet out of hibernation either.
Yeah.
So like Monday we feed these guys for the very first time, and pretty excited about getting the ball rolling. So we're probably 2 weeks away from actually putting males and females together. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's, you know, and this is where I started, right? I mean, my first snake was a Burmese python, and I had lots of pythons and boas growing up. But really, I was a colubrid guy. You know, that was when that's where my passion was. You know, when I really started breeding, my first clutch of snakes. Well, my first real clutch of snakes was rough green snakes. But then corn snakes were my second clutch. And really, you know, so this is where my heart has always been: corns, kings, rats, milks, and you know, there's just so much beautiful stuff. You know, you know, I mean, it just never stops. You know, I mean, here's like 100-flower rat snakes.
Oh my gosh.
You know, this is actually a hypomelanistic. It's like, I will bite you.
Oh dear.
But got like Tarahumara mountain king snakes. I mean, there's just, and that's I think the thing I love about colubrids is just the variety, right? You know, the fact that there's a million different things you can work with. The T-positive Nelson's milk snakes, really beautiful. Another allelic animal. We're just excited to get it going again. I mean, it's been, it seems like, I always tell people, you know, we put stuff down into hibernation, and you know, it's not like out of sight, out of mind, because we're still checking on them and watering them and making sure they're okay. But it's almost like when you bring them out, it's almost like you have a whole new collection of snakes, because you haven't really worked with them every day, you know. So and even though they're up and I'm enjoying them, really the fun starts when we start feeding, because then you start seeing them beef up, and it happens so quick. Unlike ball pythons and pythons in general that take months and months and months, these guys go from out of hibernation to egg laying in 6-7 weeks.
Wow! Oh wow, that quick.
So,
now, did you say it had something to do with a shed when they come up? They
so
have
what'll
their
happen
shed?
is they come out of brumation, and they go through a post-brumation shed that's usually about 2 weeks, you know, after they come out of hibernation. So usually feed them once or twice, they go opaque, they go into a shed, and then from that shed, that's like kind of the breeding shed. That's when, all right, I'm going to produce follicles after the post-ovulation shed. And then about 4 weeks later, they literally go into a post-lay shed. So they go from literally 2 weeks out of hibernation, breeding shed, 4 or so weeks later, you know, a shed, and then unlike, again, ball pythons are 30 days after, these guys are 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days they lay
So you could have eggs for these guys before you have ball python eggs?
Yeah, I mean, literally, we'll probably, within 7 or 8 weeks, we'll have colubrid eggs.
Wow.
And leopard geckos are even quicker. You know, Jessica has mentioned that they just came out of brumation yesterday. We'll have eggs in 2.5, 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, like they go from up to eggs within like 2.5, 3 weeks.
I'm so impatient. The whole ball python thing drives me crazy.
I
love the ball pythons, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, sometimes we'll start breeding in, you know, in October, and we're getting eggs. First eggs are, you know, March, April, and you're just like, give me some eggs.
I noticed something else, Brian. As soon as we started recording, that guy behind you, Eric, started to really show up and work. Like, really. Everybody, that is Eric. You all already know Eric. Awesome guy. Got to meet him today for the first time in person. great guy.
No,
Make sure you check him out on Instagram.
The real Eric Chambers.
Yes.
The real Eric Chambers.
Yeah.
How's it you? It's the real Eric Chambers.
Not a fake one. No. Apparently there were a lot of Eric Chambers out
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I had to set them straight.
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
The one and only. The real.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, we're lucky. Our whole crew is amazing.
Oh.
The difference between a 100 snake collection and a 1,000 snake collection isn't as much as people think. You know, people might think it's 10 times more, but it's not.
Yeah.
It takes the same commitment.
Yeah.
If you're going to care for 100 snakes, you're just as committed as us taking care of 1,000
Yeah.
snakes.
That's true.
It just and quite frankly, it's easier to take care of 1,000 snakes than than you think, because it's not 10 times harder, it's maybe twice as hard.
Yeah.
Because if you've got your bowl out, you're doing water dishes or your spot cleaning, you're in a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really getting set up to do everything takes a lot of time. So if you clean 100 cages or clean 500 cages, it's not 5 times more.
Yeah.
It's just twice as much.
Makes sense.
Or something like that.
Sure
and
enough.
so I always say that it's not as hard as people think.
And
So when someone has 100 snakes, they're just the same commitment level.
Yeah.
And I think what we don't have is a little bit of the room.
Yeah.
So for us to move a cart around with a garbage bin, with a hose to water,
Absolutely.
like we have a water jug with a skull on it from Halloween, and we're walking around filling water dishes and then run back to the laundry
But
sink.
that's changing. We're in the
It's
midst of
changing, yeah.
We're
Well, trust
building
me,
a proper-
systems are a big part of being successful on a
Yeah.
big scale.
Yeah.
Making sure you have everything. I mean, if you can save yourself, I tell people all the time, like, a great example is something as simple as this. If you were, say, this snake, you were going to feed it, right? So this would be the process. You can thaw your rodent out. You throw your rodent in, you take the water dish out, you close like that. Now tomorrow you come back when you're going to check that snake, because you got to check it anyways.
Yeah.
You check it, you put your fresh water back in, the new water dish, you pull out, spot clean, you shut it. Now what you've done is, instead of opening that cage 4 times,
Yeah.
you've opened it twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So little things like that will
That
really,
makes sense.
little systems like that really help save time. That because ultimately we want to be able to have the highest quality care in the shortest amount of time, because you have so many animals.
Yeah.
And I always tell my guys, you want 100% of the snakes taken care of, not 99% of the snakes taken care of, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really important to make sure that every single cage gets the same level of care. And that's hard. That's harder to do the longer it is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what else to look at.
Well, let's go downstairs.
Yeah.
Let's go in the playpen.
There's plenty more.
Oh dear.
Dungeon.
We're gonna let Eric watch TV again. That's what he was doing.
Yep. Get my Instagram going. Yeah. Thank you guys.
We'll start with these little monkeys right here.
God,
They're so cute.
that
Aren't
is
they cute?
awesome. So Bert and Ernie.
This is Bert and Ernie.
Holy moly, this.
It's crazy.
Now for everybody, that is Mary, Eric's better half, the one that does all the work.
She works. She's much like
Tireless.
Literally, like, so Eric and Mary are much like me and Lori, right? Like, they do the work and we just play around. Essentially is what happens. So it's pretty similar relationship. And right now, then we've got like our John eye, which are our sand boas, like Indian sand boas. We also have Kenyans and rough scales sand boas as well. We have like our rainbow boas over here. Like lots of different, Brazilian rainbow boas and.
Oh yeah.
And we just recently purchased a Brazilian rainbow boa, a little one like this.
Oh, they're so cute. We have, these are the hypos here.
Oh, nice.
So that's a recessive mutation.
Oh, wow.
Hypomelanistic.
Oh, wow.
Really beautiful. Oh, this is a good one. This is Miguel's.
Oh yes.
This is
that's
the one
right.
that was Satan for Miguel.
Yeah.
But it's actually really good.
Was
It's a
that
good
the
animal.
one from Tinley in
I,
October?
yeah, he
Yes,
got
it
this
was.
as the
Yes.
auction,
Yeah,
and it was biting him so much,
It
he sent it to
constantly-
me. And you can see it's puppy dog tame now. I mean, it's
That's
as good as it could
awesome.
be. Beautiful,
It's
beautiful
gorgeous.
snake. Really beautiful snake. So, of course, there's an ivory berm here, which is really just a beautiful,
wow.
beautiful animal too. So, the closest to a white berm as you can get. There's
Yeah.
no real solid white ones. Then we have, again, just like some of our Crebo stuff, or again carpet python stuff, mangroves.
Do they lay eggs?
Yeah,
or?
these are egg layers.
Okay.
Yep, these are egg layers.
And how many roughly would? They lay?
6 to 7.
Yeah.
I think a girl like this is a pretty big girl right here.
Yeah, she looks-
might have like a little bit larger clutch. Larger clutch, but she looks good. These are our blue tongue snakes. And these guys are all becoming pretty gravid now. This girl is definitely starting to swell up.
Yes.
So we should have babies here in the next 2 months. About 2 months or so we'll have babies. Of course we got RJ over here.
Yeah.
Boy RJ. Hey RJ.
Oh
Don't worry, I won't touch you.
Oh boy.
You're going to go in the water because you're like, Dad's going to take me out.
Oh
Alright,
my
I'm not going to take
God.
you out, bud. You could have stayed up. I'm sorry.
Oh, so cool. That's so cool.
Hey, bud, what are you doing?
He's
What are you doing,
beautiful.
Siri? The monkey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a heavy animal too. He's over 100 pounds now.
Is he really?
He takes a lot of weight to pull around, but he's great. You know, I mean, we love him. And
Now, will he eat the fish?
he will not. This is
No?
what's interesting is the fish here. Actually, we had Bowser, you know, the snapping alligator snapping turtle, and we had Bowser and RJ together for about a year. And when Bowser first came, he wasn't eating.
Yeah.
And so we thought, well, let's throw some fish in there to see if he wants to eat live fish.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he didn't eat them, and of course RJ didn't eat them. So
Yeah.
we threw 12 fish in here a year ago. There's still 12 fish in here now.
Nice.
So now they're just friends with RJ.
Yeah.
They just hang out, and,
Oh, that's
and quite
cool.
frankly, because goldfish are kind of garbage cleaners too,
Yeah.
they help keep it a little bit cleaner.
That's
too,
right.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it works out well.
Good.
You see his reaction here, right? Because
Yeah.
he knows that when I come down, a lot of times I pick him up.
Pick him up.
So he's going away. He wouldn't do that to anyone else. You see, these guys have been down
Yeah,
here
yeah,
all
I
day.
know.
He's hanging out. As
He
soon
knows
as
when
hears
you
me-
come?
So
Yeah.
he actually doesn't feed for me either.
Ah,
He won't eat for me at all.
Yeah.
So he has to eat, whether it's Mary or Kelsey or
Yeah.
Noah, I'll do all the feeding for these.
Oh,
these
wow.
guys. I mean, I can literally take a mouse or a frozen rat,
And he won't do it.
turns his
No.
nose to it. I can walk away. 5 minutes later, someone else comes and eats it.
He knows.
Yeah,
he
so-
knows you're taking him out.
Yeah, so
That
it
is
just
so
gives you
cool.
an idea how smart these guys
Yeah.
are.
So
You know, right now, I mean, he is 100% looking at me,
Yeah.
expecting me
Yeah.
to take
Yeah,
him
yeah.
out. You know,
Oh my
100%.
God.
So don't worry, Arch. I'm not
Awesome.
going to take you out, bud. I think it's the best way to go. And,
Yep.
and obviously, these are just some of our raise ups over here. And then this is all this stuff here is just what we have left from last year's normal pythons that we produced last year.
Oh,
You know.
they're beautiful.
Oh, wow.
They're really pretty snakes. I love them to death. And then this is a little blackhead. I don't know what that tag is, but this is one of our little black-headed pythons.
Oh man.
This is actually called Crispy.
Nice.
It's snap, crackle, pop, and crispy.
I love it.
So this is Crispy.
Those are gorgeous.
That is crazy. That it
Yeah.
just cuts off.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just, what they'll do is they'll use that to warm. They'll come out of the rocks, their
Yeah.
head just comes out, it warms up in the
Yeah.
sun.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Wow.
So these are some of like our red stripe, super stripe spinner blasts.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
So that's a red stripe,
Yeah,
super
super
stripe.
stripe.
Red stripe, super stripe spinner is what this
Wow.
is, yeah. And then this is the same snake, just minus the spider.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
a red stripe, pinstripe, super stripe.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, it's
so
just
cool.
kinda-
So
yeah.
different. So crazy how one gene makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge,
Yeah, we
huge
talked
difference.
about it. Oh,
And like
very,
really like
very-
reduce, like no
Right.
patterning on the side. So we produced a couple of them. That, oh yeah, there's the
And
other
what?
one. Yeah.
What is it?
We don't really
Oh,
know
you don't know.
exactly. We don't know exactly what they are, but they came out, and as babies they were even more like extreme. Like really
beautiful.
cool. Yeah. So we're just gonna raise them up and see what we get out.
Oh
of
my
them.
God. Yeah, absolutely.
It is time for us to leave BHB, the Reptarium. Brian, we can't thank you enough. It has
you,
been
guys.
an absolute pleasure.
Awesome.
Brian.
Thank you so much.
Guys, what you see is what you get with this man right here. He is phenomenal. He took the time out of his day to show us everything. Reptarium, BHB, and we can't thank you enough.
Well, no, it's great having you guys. I can't wait to be up by you guys here in just a few more
Yes.
months, and
Yes.
you're always welcome. So please come back with your kids.
we will.
Yes, absolutely. Kids, we're going to bring you, we promise.
Yeah, you better. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
So we left the Reptarium and we're on our way to Chicago to Tinley, and we're pretty excited.
Absolutely.
I think, are you half asleep at the wheel? We left at, what time was it? Like 4:30 in the morning, I think. And we stopped in Michigan and then had such an awesome time. I think we're on an adrenaline dump now. Look at the nice weather.
Rainy.
At least it's not snowing.